Special win. I think this team's been doubted throughout the season, and it's the most resilient bunch of kids that I've ever had the pleasure of coaching. That's the best three-game set that I've ever been part of as a player or as a coach in my life. It literally had everything that you could possibly imagine, including walk-offs and six-run eights, heroic plays, heroic performances, heroic at-bats. It's the best television you could have ever watched for 3 straight games, and people stepped up massively in the biggest spots, in the biggest moments, and they just kept playing hard regardless of score or situation. That was an incredible, incredible game.
Questions? For the players, kind of like you said, you've come back a couple times this weekend already. You have that big chance in the sixth. You're down, ends up flying out right near the wall. How do you guys kind of come back as a lineup and put that 8th inning together? It was just quality at bat after quality at bat.
Yeah, I think that's just the type of group we are all year. This is one of the closest groups of kids I've played with. And I told Monty after that inning, I said, we're going to win this game. So there was just never any doubt throughout that team, throughout the whole game. And really the whole weekend, we all stuck with each other and played for each other and wished for the kid behind us to do better than what we just did.
Yeah, I mean, there's no time on there's no clock, there's no time. It's just pitch by pitch, and that's how just we approach it every single game. And in that moment, you got to slow the game down and just kind of go pitch by pitch.
Let's go to the back of the room.
Logan, holding down Kentucky's running game was big. Obviously, Griffin had a big part in that, and Lefty holding them on. What were the points you all were trying to emphasize to keep them on? Obviously, there were a lot of throws to bases, but then for you, make it close. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, they like to run a lot, as you could see. And after I threw them out, they kept running. So they're definitely a team. They're gonna test you and try to keep getting bases. So you just gotta stay ready. And we talked to coaches the whole game, and we kept yelling, watch the delay. They got us a couple times, but just have to stay ready at all times.
They got you with that in the first game, but then tonight you got a lead runner in that. Were you kind of looking for that there?
Yeah, just expecting it. I think they did get us later in the game. There was a delay that they got.
Let's go to right here, second row.
Nick also with the Dominion Press, Armani. What does this 3-game stretch mean to you? You have to walk off in game 1, and now you get the game-winning single to get score the winning run. What does that mean?
I mean, it means a lot. It's sick. But I think more than just myself, just like to the team, it shows that like we all have it. You know, I was a guy who didn't play the last month and a half, and I'm here in this position. So like, I think it's a big confidence boost to each guy, knowing that. Like, shout out Benjamin Lumsden. That guy hasn't played all year. He struggled, and look at him with 4 ribbies. And I mean, just like the confidence that we have in each other is huge, and I think it just goes to show.
Going to the back room again.
Steve, I know you told Griffin, be ready, you might have to pitch an inning tonight. But that's like an easier said than done kind of thing it feels like, especially for someone who hasn't done that before. So what did you try to do to help him to get ready? And then when you went to make the call to him, what did you say?
He told me yesterday that he'd be ready to pitch after 117. So today was a piece of cake for Griff. I knew that he wanted the ball. When we really cut through it, he said that he felt like he could throw quality pitches for 2 innings. Going into the 9th, we said that if we tied the game, we were going to give the ball to Kern. And so throughout that entire long game and all the runs from both teams, still in the 8th, everybody on the staff was talking about situations, what we needed to do if we were to tie it, that Griff would get the ball. And we ended up having that really long inning, which was fortunate. We called an offensive timeout. They made 3 or 4 pitching changes, so Griff had a long time to get ready. And as a starter, he's more accustomed to taking his time getting ready. The crazy part, I've never managed any game like that before, because my first year as a head coach, it was really difficult because there were some pitchers that really showed great tonight, but we knew we'd have to use them tomorrow if we didn't tie the game or get the lead. So J.J. Glasscock came in and threw as good as he had ever thrown, and I took him out after 0.1 innings. And Cole Fairman threw the best he had ever thrown and put up a 0, and we took him out after 1 inning because the math just didn't add up for tomorrow as far as trying to piece together 9 innings. So you have to play aggressive and play to win, but I needed the players' help today because I was having to make aggressive moves on the pitching staff to try to keep the score where it was, but we also couldn't roll into a chance to win a regional yesterday and, you know, the cupboard be completely bare. So it was a really weird balancing act that we haven't had to do much this whole year, but the offense stepped up huge and just kept coming.
And here in the second row.
Coach, this is your second straight super regional. What does that say about your program, the future of your program?
I think we've got to leave it up to the guys that write about it and the guys that cover Division I baseball. But I think it'd be fair to say that we're a top 16 program in the country for the last 2 years at least. I think we've built something really, really special in Morgantown, West Virginia. We've had over 10, 12 big leaguers in the last 10 years. We won an outright title in the Big 12, and we've won 2 Big 12 titles in the last 3 years. And so to say that our program is the upper echelon and the best of the best in the country when it comes to Division I baseball would not be an understatement. I think that was proven this weekend.
Anything else? We'll go in the back.
Armani, I know you told Coach that you were ready to play third, that you were good with that. Is it difficult jumping around with different first basemen you're going with other guys you're working with? Because obviously you made a lot of shifts, both offensive and defensive, through this region.
I just try to be an athlete. I mean, Sabes talks about it all the time. His job is to place us where he thinks we best fit, and my job is to play the game. So that's all I do.
Different throwing to different first basemen?
Yeah. I mean, like, arm angles and all that, it gets difficult sometimes, but I just try to be an athlete.
Anything else? Congratulations.
Thanks.
And LSU is down by 3 right now in the fourth.